I think it's funny how everybody's true colors are coming out, especially the black people.
Hello, welcome back to my YouTube space. I am the Kenyan Beast. Of course, we are doing it the African way every day, every time. Now, the video we're going to react today is about a Latino lady or a Latino woman who dragged down black people. He called them names. As far as I know, black Americans have played important role in supporting the empowerment of Latinos. Now, this lady is claiming that black Americans are not supporting Latinos in this mass deportation that's going on, or the thing that Latinos are facing in the hand of Donald Trump. Okay? And she's saying that Latinos has been there for so long. When black Americans were complaining, protesting about Black Lives Matters and etc., Latinos was there, or Latinos were there. That's why she's dragging them down. Now, she deleted the video from the social media, but you know, social media can't forget the video. I retrieved it, and I want us to watch this video, and then we'll come back again and react on it.
I think it's funny how everybody's true colors are coming out, especially the black people, because y'all are quick to forget what country you guys flee to shelter when you were slaves. You're quick to forget when Black Lives Matters movement was happening, who was right there next to y'all. Y'all quick to forget that every time you guys are out there protesting for your rights, who was right there next to y'all. Now y'all out here making videos talking about like, let's sit this one down. But you're also quick to talk shit on us. And then when we say something, you're quick to play the victim card and say, well, you're being, when y'all are starting it. But you know, to each their own. Now, funny, you wanna call me Gore, that bitch, but you're over here looking like this. You look like a man, babe. But you know. Oh, and since you wanna learn Spanish so bad, tú eres una puta gorda que aparte de negra eres naca. Well, since you wanna talk like that, none of us have asked, and none of you negros, none of us have asked, and none of them negros for nothing. Okay, we have not say join our fight. But if you're gonna sit this one down, sit down and shut the fuck for once.
Are you mad? Are you a little angry? Ashley Trevino's younger sister did went rampant all over TikTok. Look, baby, whenever you tell black women to sit down and shut up, we tend to get up and be even louder than we were before. And thank you for coming out and actually saying what other Latinas want to say but won't say because they too scared to say. You said this from a backup page. Yep, that's you. But this is your real page. Why don't you say it on this page? And baby, next time you go to Tijuana to get you a BBL, make sure they get your chin too. You don't match. So homegirl posted a video on her page talking about all the times we helped y'all, remember Black Lives Matter? And tried to say that shit wasn't begging. So I popped off in her comment section, but the video was this.
No, because somebody needs to come educate her. Because you know how many times we've been riding with y'all? You know how many times y'all went out protesting for your rights and we were right there next to y'all?
So I was like, hell no. So I got up in her comment section. I was like, listen, 92% of us did what the hell we needed to do. The rest of y'all, like the 60%, said y'all to y'all. And then I proceeded to talk. And then I posted this. And she responded. Now, homegirl keeps saying that the only reason why she started being racist is because we were being racist back to her. But where in this am I being racist, babe? I'm telling you that I literally have Afro-Latino kids. And what did you say? You'll likely be teaching them to always play the race card and act like victim like y'all always do. What the hell prompted that? And babe, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you don't fuck my life. The other side of their family literally don't fuck them. Like at all. When somebody uses a racist term to refer to their own niece, nephew, grandchild, or what fuck like that, like negrito or some shit like that, you kind of know that they don't fuck with the kids, dude. So I don't know what the problem is. So after she decided that she was gonna say some shit like that about my kids, I was like, you. Tú es muy gorda, bitch, P90X. No comida para tú. Tu culote es muy grande, ho. Cause don't fucking talk about my kids.
You guys flee to shelter when you were slaves. You're quick to forget.
I said this before and I'll say it again. Almost every language in the world has a slur for black people. Black people are not liked worldwide. Like, it does not matter how much you guys say that you rock with us. You do not mess with us. You do not like us. We are nothing but blacks to y'all. And when you don't get your way, just like white people, you resort back to racism. Like, black people we don't have to sit there and stand with y'all. We don't have to do that. Like, I don't know what's going into your head, but you need to take this energy out with your own community. This is the time for y'all to use us as an example about having unification, because you guys don't have that. More than half of you guys voted for that man. You are looking at the wrong enemy. We're not the enemy.
Now, funny, you wanna call me Gore, that bitch, but you're over here looking.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you no more than 2-3 days ago asking, where are black people? Was that not you? That was you, right? That was you, right? You? Wasn't it you? When the ICE raids and the deportations and shit started happening, didn't you ask where black people were? And yet here you are, calling a black woman a bitch. Are you still wondering? Is it still confusing to you? Would you like for me to spell it out for you? Okay. Don't worry about it, fam. I got you. You see, black folk tried to save your ass. They did. They voted against the motherfucker that is currently sitting in the White House, who is prioritizing white South Africans and deporting people that speak Spanish. Now, shout out to the Latino women who overwhelmingly voted against this. But I need y'all to understand something. Maybe, and I'm just spitballing because that's all I do, I spitball. Maybe if y'all hadn't been so goddamn nasty to black folks in the run-up to this election, maybe some of them would be here for you. That's a novel idea. See, y'all are missing it. Y'all think this is all about, not wanting to be in solidarity because of this, that, and the third, and because y'all voted one way and we voted another. No. This goes far beyond that. Nobody cared who you voted for. Nobody. But your anti-blackness and your anti-black women is what got y'all here in the first place. And every one of y'all seem to be missing that. Every one of y'all. Doesn't matter what demographic it is. If Donald Trump is touching your community and your demographic and y'all are asking where the fuck we are, let me help y'all understand something. You could have voted however you wanted, but you did not have to disrespect black women. You didn't. You didn't have to disparage the black community. You fucking didn't. And we saw all of it. All of it. We watched and said nothing. We were fighting with y'all in comment sections. Whether it's Gaza or immigration. When we went and voted, we voted against everything that is happening to y'all. And when we saw, not just the voting numbers, but everything that led up to that, the disrespect online, the disrespect offline, the snide comments, the shitty fucking comments, the disrespect to a black educated woman, y'all fed into that bullshit. Y'all did. Y'all stood next to white supremacy rather than standing with people who would fight white supremacy. And the funny part about it, the part that really aggravates me and still aggravates me to this very day, is that none of you would be able to say half the shit that y'all are saying and did say, were it not for the fact that black folks put their lives and their bodies on the line for you to have the right to do so. Y'all think this is about the vote. No. We're not FAFO because you voted for somebody. That's on your conscience. That's you having to deal with your own inner monologue. It was the disrespect of black people and black women in particular that turned us the fuck off. Turned us the fuck off. Yeah, y'all were out there with the protests for George Floyd. And then you literally became extremely racist and just straight up misogynistic towards not just any black woman, but the most educated black woman ever to run for the presidency. And in doing that, you disrespected black people in general and black women in particular. Y'all think we dislike y'all because of who you voted for or didn't vote for? No. It was your nastiness. It was your nastiness. It was your disrespect. It was your disrespect to the black community. It was your disrespect to black women who are always the vanguard, always the front lines fighting for every goddamn body else. And when black women saw Project 2025 coming down the pike, they knew Biden was getting ready to not run for a second term, and he endorsed his vice president. None of you motherfuckers stopped to think for a half a second, am I disagreeing with her because of her policies, or am I being racist to her? Am I being misogynistic, practicing misogynoir? Am I? Y'all keep thinking this is about your vote. I'm not making that counter on how many days it's been since Jill Stein opened her goddamn mouth because of who you voted for. No. It is simply because of the nastiness that you showed on the way to the voting booth. The reason black folks are standing down and resting is because we watched how y'all acted. Y'all moved funny. Y'all said a whole lot of slick shit out the side of your mouth. And now the results are coming back. In this video, that clip I just showed you proves my point. It absolutely 100% proves my point. Now she got to be a bitch. But a couple of days ago, you were asking where black folks are. Well, it looks like you just answered your question a couple of days later. When y'all start to deconstruct your own internal racism, maybe we'll come back to the table. But as it stands right now, when it comes to other marginalized communities, black people don't trust any of you. Any of you. Not because of who you voted for, but because of the nastiness, the disrespect, the blatant racism, the white patriarchy coming out of brown mouths and Muslim mouths that you showed on the way to that vote. You want to know where we are? You just answered your own question.
I think it's funny how everybody's true colors are coming out, especially the.
And then what really killing me about this whole thing is this bitch so fucking dumb. She think the African Americans that ran up to Mexico and the African Americans still in America the same niggas. She talk about, so when you guys were slaves, you had to run to Mexico to seek shelter, and them niggas are still up there. Them slaves who went to Mexico, they descendants is still in America. Still in Mexico. Like, they ain't got shit to do with us. Like, you slow as fuck. You dumb as hell talking about something. You guys had to seek shelter in Mexico. My ancestors ain't never seek shelter in Mexico. They got their ass whooped all up and down South Carolina. Like, I promise you, they ain't never left South Carolina. They ain't never left South Carolina to go no fucking Mexico. Like, what did you talk?
Welcome back. Now, as I said earlier, black Americans have played an important role in supporting the empowering Latinos communities throughout the history. This lady has a problem. I don't know if it's a bigger problem or smaller problem, but for me, I think she has a problem, because if she's saying that they supported black people during their struggles, if she's claiming that Latinos supported the movements of black people, it was not the black people It was for them, because the struggles that black people are going through is the same struggles that Latinos are going through, or even worse. The struggle that Latinos in America are going through, the same Asian people, Asian Americans are going through, or black Americans are going through. So for Latinos to help black Americans that time, those Latinos who supported black movement, black something, anything that was dealing with the black movement, they were not doing that for the sake of black people. They were doing that to secure their place in America too. So this lady need to learn that. But black Americans being the majority right now, for example, they have played important role. They have played important role because the struggle, they share the struggle. When you talk about this, they share the struggle, black Americans and Latinos. For example, civil rights movement and shared struggle. During the civil rights movement in 1950s and 1960s, African Americans fought against systematic racism and segregation. Many Latinos, for example, Mexican Americans and other Latinx groups found common cause with African Americans in the fight for equal rights. Leaders like Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, who led the United Farm Workers, were inspired by the work of African American civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King, Philip Randolph, and the struggles for labor rights and equality for farm workers in particular saw collaboration between black people and Latino communities. This is something that black people started, and the leaders from Latino communities saw it. It was affecting them too, and they joined. So if I say that the struggles of Latinos and black people are the same, I mean it. And if this lady doesn't know about the history, I think it is time for her to go back and see about the history. That does not mean that when Cesar Chavez and Dolores supported Martin Luther King, it was not that out of favor that let me support you. No, it was because the struggle was the same. The farm workers were going through problem and they were fighting for equality, and black people started the movement. And these Latino leaders saw that these guys are fighting for our rights too. So let's join them. So black Americans, on the other hand, they have played that vital something on fighting for the civil rights. And it is something that touched both communities, Latinos and black. Black communities and Latino communities, particularly in urban centers like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago, have often common ground in shared cultural experience and common struggle related to racism and poverty. This solidarity has led to mutual support in efforts for better housing, access to education, and better treatment by police. Same struggle, shared struggle. Again, black communities has been so much vocal on this. I may say maybe because they are the majority, but black community has been facing this struggle, has been fighting against this struggle, have been vocal out there and protesting against this struggle, against police brutality. Even if Latinos were supporting the movements, were supporting the protest, it's not because of favor. I repeat, it's because of shared struggle. The police brutality that were going against black people were going against Latinos too. So this lady or this woman coming out here and complaining and calling black people names for not supporting their protest, it's bad. That's not how it's supposed to be. Black Americans right now not supporting the movement of Latinos is not because they don't want to do that. It's because they warned them from doing one of these mistakes, voting in Donald Trump, but Latinos did not listen. They went ahead and voted for Trump. And they knew very well what Trump is for. Okay? So they are here complaining and dragging black Americans down. It's not good. Black Americans has been instrumental in advocating for laws and benefits Latinos community as well. For example, African American political leaders, including members of Congress, Black Caucus, or Congressional Black Caucus, have supported Latinos' effort to fight for comprehensive immigration reform, voting rights, and other legislative protections. Go back to history and learn about that. Yeah, you will know that black people have been here fighting for you all along. Black Americans community have been on this platform fighting for you all along, fighting for your voting rights. The voting rights you are experiencing today, voting for Donald Trump, is because of the blood and sweat of black communities going on the protest. We have something called Pan-African and Pan-Latino movement. In some areas, there's been a broader movement for unity between Black and Latinos community as a part of global struggle for racial justice and liberation. Their shared history of colonization and the legacy of slavery, as well as a struggle against systematic racism, have led to efforts to build alliances that transcend borders, linking the African diaspora with the Latin American diaspora. And this was started by the black people. The black people were on it. We call for unity. We have been calling for unity since we have been calling for unity of Asian, African, and Latinos for ages. So I understand this lady. Maybe she's talking like that because she does not know the history that much. Yeah, both communities have been fighting together, and the solidarity of black community and Latinos community have not started today. Okay, and it's because of some of the leaders from Latinos saw it. They need to join black Americans simply because the black people are fighting for them too. It's not that they are fighting for themselves. When black communities are going out to protest against police brutality, it's for Latinos, Mexican, all Latinos community and black community and Asian who are going through the same problem. When black have been going out to fight for voting justice, freedom of voting, and etc., it is for both communities. But now, Latinos got this voting freedom and they went to vote, and they vote against the wish of black people, and their decision is eating them up. And now, some of them are coming out and blaming black people for not supporting them to stop what's going on. I am very happy to see some Latinos, their IQ is high and they are thinking and reasoning and knowing that black people does not owe them anything. And some Latinos went out and asking their fellow Latinos not to vote for Donald Trump. But now they are suffering because of their own mistakes. So, calling the name of black people here, calling them names, racial words, it won't gonna help. Something that will help is the unity. Because when you are calling them names and dragging black people down, it will just widen this disunity and it will be bad. It is time to call for unity. I know some black folks are angry with Latinos and they just said, okay, we will just sit down and see what's going to happen. I know that. But it is time to call for the unity of black people and the unity of Latinos at large. It is not the time to continue to create this gap in between. This just shows how you don't care. Because if you could care as a Latino lady, you could know that some Latinos people made mistake by voting in Trump. What will we do? Plan B. Plan B is to ask black people and Asian to join us. I know they are angry, but they cannot be angry for long because it's affecting them too. So when Latinos going out to protest, black people will go out and protest. It will solve our problem easily and faster. This is not the way to go on it. This is not the way to go. You are creating problem from problem instead of creating solution. Okay? I know black people went ahead and answered her, and it's like she got cancelled. And the other Latinos followers, they say no to that. She went ahead and deleted that video. But again, as I said earlier, internet will never forget. So it is out here, and still the challenges existing, the unity and collaboration, the support from black Americans has been essential in uplifting and empowering Latino community. You have to know that as a Latino. And the Gen Z Latino, you have to go back to history. I know a lot of Gen Zs, they don't know a lot of these things. But it started in 1950s back then. Okay? Tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. Until next episode, peace be with you.